Hi, everybody. Tammy here, and I wanted to introduce you to the new Google Meet that's coming out in May of 2021. I wanted to give you a little heads up so you know what to expect. As you can see, it looks a little different already, and at first thing that you may notice is that all of the tools and the buttons are down here on the bottom, which is kind of neat. So let me just start from the left here, and you have your code over here. Um, if you need to share that, but you've got your microphone and your video camera settings right here to turn off and on. You've got your closed captioning, your raised hand, your presenting options, which is same as before. And you've got your settings, looks very similar to what we had before. And then you have your leave the call or hang up icon over here. And then you also have more icons to the right over here. You've got your meeting details if you need that information. You have the ability to show everybody, like you do, all the participants in the call. You have your chat, and when you click that on, if that's, I think the default is on, that lets everybody send messages, but if you turn that off, then the participants are not able to use the chat. They can see the chat, they just can't chat themselves. And then we've also got the tools that the more recent tools that have come out, the breakout rooms, polls, Q&A, recording here, as well as in the settings, and your whiteboard, which will open up a new Jamboard. So, and I believe you've got your host controls here as well, this quick access. If you need to be able to admit one student at a time, then you can turn that off, and then everybody that's invited must ask to join. Then you can also set share the screen. If you don't want to allow others to share their screen, you can turn that off, as well as the chat messages here as well. So right off the bat, let me show you what it looked like just so you kind of get that idea. This is the old format when you have the leave call right in the middle of the microphone and the camera. It may have caused problems in the past. And then you had all the other controls up here in the upper right. So it does look a little different. Now, a few more things to mention. So when you are presenting, if I want to present a tab, and I'm going to click on this new tab, I'm going to share that. So if I go back to the Meet, normally you are seeing this big sign that says you are presenting the screen, but you actually are shown a preview of what you are presenting. So that's kind of nice, so you know, oh yeah, that is the tab that I'm wanting. Now I can also unpin this, and it just becomes one of the tiles, and then I'm able to still see everybody, and that's not taking up all of my half of my screen. So that's kind of nice. So I'm going to stop presenting, which is up here in the upper right. I like this presentation audio is on or off, so I'm going to stop presenting. All right, and then another really cool thing is sometimes it was kind of hard to figure out to have yourself in the call. You can actually remove the tile, and so it's yourself is taken out, and you can actually move it around as you need to. You can make it small, big, as you need to, and then you can click that same button and you're back in there. If you want to get yourself completely out of it, then you just click on this minimize, and it just kind of leaves a space or leaves a button remaining that you can click back if you do want to include yourself in there. So just some extra little bonuses. One thing I will also mention is the muted. Now I do have all of my devices are muted right now. So one of my devices is unmuted. I can mute all here. And now all of my devices are going to be muted. All the participants are going to be muted. So you do have that all muted option up here, as well as your host controls off and on up here. If you want to mute just one person, I'm going to do this again. You have that option right there. I'm going to mute. So I'm going to mute that. So you can mute one person at a time, but please understand they can just very easily unmute themselves. So you can do an all mute if that's appropriate. You can mute one person at a time as the host, but understand that they are able to unmute themselves. You do have a couple more actions. You can pin if you want to pin a particular participant to the screen. You can do that, and you can also remove them from the meeting, which sometimes turns out really well. So these are some of the new updates to Google Meet. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Have a great day.